Come on, the boys.
I'll quit this fucking stream just as quick as it started.
Fucking having
It's
a
gonna be a
blue
long.
Monday. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So you guys only wanted to carry on because United fans have got ESCOM'd and now they can't be here.
Yeah, 100%. Jillian will be here. She'll hold the fort for Jade. Jade is I'm really sad Jade's not here because Jade has been angry for the last 2 weeks.
I actually just wouldn't mind like messaging Uncle Pat right now and asking, doesn't want to join this fucking podcast. It's the only smiles he's bringing to me now at this point in time.
So kids, how's things going there your side, bud?
Sun's out, guns out, brother. Yeah, it's looking good, eh? Weather's beautiful. I see why people make a big thing about European summers. It's quite a thing to get used to, and it's quite nice. But yeah, other than that, good, man. End of the hockey season now. I think this is my last week of coaching. And then we have a bit of a 2 months off. European Championship starting on Friday here in Amsterdam. So it's the men's and ladies European.
Right?
Yeah, we've got the men's and ladies European Championship starting on Friday at Market Club at Amsterdam. So yeah, I'm gonna go watch some international hockey on Friday night. 2 games. The Dutch are playing France and Germany are playing Wales in day 1. So I'm going to go watch a bit of that. 2,700 fans allowed in the stadium. Got to go get my COVID test done on Friday. And yeah, should be fun. It should be interesting. I'm looking forward to just being in a live sporting event.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a while, eh? Cooks, your side, it looks like you're getting cold there.
Yes, I'm freezing. It's cold here. It is cold. Like Keith's talking about European summers. I've got, like I said, I drew my Chelsea shirt over my hoodie today because, like I'm in America. I know you're lucky because you got the fireplace there, so hopefully the fire's on. But I'm in the trench.
I'm actually a little bit cold, and all my long Chelsea tops was worn. And I didn't actually think of wearing a hoodie under the top, so I'll just have to freeze it out here for a bit. But I did make myself some coffee to help at least.
At least you don't have load shedding.
Yeah, that's good.
At least you don't have load shedding.
Yeah. We're going off at 8 tonight, so.
Fun times.
Fun
times. Keeks, don't you miss load shedding? Don't you miss load shedding?
Oh fuck, mate! I wish the power could go off now and then here, just to give you a little peace of mind. Just to give you a little bit of peace of mind now and then. Especially after your team fucking loses in the final, I wouldn't mind the power just cutting off, so I don't have to see the bullshit.
Well, at one stage, I was hoping the power would just trip at the stadium during that United game because, as an outsider, it was fucking hard to watch. Just purely from a United perspective, I think you guys should have definitely won that game in the first in the 90 minutes, and I actually had some money on you guys to win it.
It's actually criminal how we didn't win that game in 90 minutes. Listen, I had a feeling we'll shit the bed, and we shut the bed, so it's one of those things. And I don't know, it just didn't look like a night that things were going to actually come together. I think I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but I think we missed Slab head at the back. I think we missed a bit of Maguire at the back there, and I think he's shown a bit that there is a bit of leadership there from him, even though I'm not going to say he's the best leader, but I do think he gets a little bit of reaction out of the guys, and I think that was missed a little bit. The problem with it is it just opens up so many questions. Like, have we reached the point of Ole? Like, where he stayed, like, I'm not an Ole in, I'm not an Ole out guy. I'm very on the fence when it comes to this. But my concern is he stabilized the ship. things are looking a lot more stable at United. We've got a squad that can play a bit of ball when they feel, well, when they're in the right mood. They can play a bit of ball. They, in the league and in Europe, they've done okay. But he just doesn't seem like he knows how to take it. He's now taken it to a point and doesn't know how to take it to that next level. And you can almost see it in his face sometimes where he's like clueless, like he's not too sure how to take it one notch up. And that's what worries me about him. And I think if he won that final, that tension would have been off his shoulders a bit. I think, but I think him losing that final now he's gonna be under big scrutiny the first half of next season. That I think he's just added extra pressure to his shoulders.
Yeah. I must say I do agree with that. I think Ole exposed himself a little bit in that match, and we did speak about it previously, where I just feel that he doesn't really know how to go out and win a game. I think when things go well, obviously, you guys pick up 3 points and whatever, but there's been games where it's 1-1 or 2-2 or whatever, or even maybe like 0-1, and he just doesn't seem to have what it takes to change that around and to get the guys to really go out and win the game. I mean, you guys are dominating, especially that second half.
Yeah.
But there's no end result, and he's not even making any subs. I mean, he made his first sub 100 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the subs he made was for fucking penalties. That's the subs he made.
Yeah, but even that, in my opinion, is not how you should. You shouldn't play the game that way. You should go, let's win the game, even if it is in extra time. Let's win the game. If we don't win the game, then we look at what we have on the field in terms of penalties.
100%.
I think. Yeah. Sorry, Cooks, you can go first.
Like the main other thing, being in isolation. I've been all you can do is think about soccer and like random things besides work. So you're sitting there like after the United game on Wednesday. It was like I agree with you, Keys. Like Ollie has done a great job in stabilizing, because if you look from the outside, I mean, he comes over, he takes off from the mess that Mourinho left behind. And then he takes over, he beat PSG and all of that. And then the next year, his first full year, he comes third in the Premier League. And then the next year, he comes second. So if you look at it from the outside, you think, okay, look, third place, second place. But then, almost like if you dive deeper, especially into this season, it's like, okay, I look at it like when you guys were on top and you play against Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool was struggling, they couldn't buy a win. And then, you think that's the game where you win that game, you sort of stamp your title credentials, like, listen, we in this to win this. And you go, Ole says at the defensive side, you draw 0-0. You play against Arsenal away from home as well, you draw 0-0. And it's and he goes, you know what, we're not even supposed to be in the race. I was like, geez, but you're in the title race, who knows what's going to happen next season?
Just go for it.
Man City can buy Harry Kane. Man City can buy Harry Kane next year and the league is done. Or they can buy Haaland and the league is done. So it's now you're in it. And it's for me, it's when you guys are the underdogs. Most of the times when you beat Man City's when, case in point, Man City wins 17 games in a row against United. Oh, there's no way United going to win this game. Underdogs, boom, Oli pulls out a great result. But as soon as you guys are the favorites, like against Villareal, you were the favorites. There's no way you guys should have won that game. I mean, and then that's when Oli, I feel like he doesn't deliver then. And I think it's because I do also feel bad for him in a way, because the board hasn't backed him in the way that he's wanted to. Because I mean, and I hope that, for me, I think Ollie's in this campaign. I think this season is make or bust. This season coming up now, so I do hope that he does get the. If you come third next year, and you don't win a final, then it's then you're almost going in circles. Okay, what actually are we doing? Because I feel like Ollie's camp, I don't think he's gotten the players he's wanted. I mean, he made it clear last year he wanted Sancho. And he said one of the players. I mean, obviously Maguire's and all have come in. I still think Maguire is a good number 2, but you need someone else next to him, a proper defender next to him. If you guys are linked with Varane or someone like that, he comes in there you make a difference. Like Maguire was paired with a Van Dijk or something. I feel like he'd be better. But when Maguire is a leading defender, like you said, it's a bit of a mess. And but also with him not playing, like Lindelof and Bayo on their own is also a
fucking
mess.
dog show.
Like it's a dog show.
Yeah.
So it's
It goes from a mess to a complete dog show.
No, it goes from a dog show. So I really hope that. I think
problem
United.
is, sorry, Goods.
I said I just think they're a couple of players away. I mean, you add, but like not like you mustn't go buy like another 18-year-old winger. You don't need another 18-year-old winger. You don't need a 21-year-old central midfielder coming through. You need 3 first-team players that are gonna walk into the side. Like get a Rafael Varane, if not gonna get Sancho, get Jack Grealish. Go after. If you're gonna get Harry Kane, okay, fine. We're gonna get Grealish and Sancho. When you get Declan Rice or someone but players get 3 players that are gonna go straight into the first team and make a difference. Otherwise, we're gonna be in the same boat next year. If like it's the exact same, you don't need another Donny van de Beek to boost your depth. You need 3 first team quality players, and that's what he needs. I mean, that's what I think we United are lacking.
That is the reality. I mean, I think we've wanted to one. I think I do agree with you. I don't think he's gotten really the players that he's wanted from the board. But then again, so did other managers as well. They also didn't get who they exactly wanted. So, I do think he's overachieved with that squad, in all fairness. I'm going to be very fair with you. I think it would be pretty disrespectful for someone to say he hasn't overachieved with that squad, because you look at that United squad, take away, or people can be like, oh, but fuck, he's got Cavani up front and all that. Who knew if Cavani was going to work in the Premier League after being 7 months without playing football? The guy was out of contract at PSG, was just fucking doing YouTube clips like Owen Hargreaves in a way, basically. The difference is...
and out of his prime as well.
Exactly. The difference is... form is temporary, but class is permanent. That's the difference. I mean, he's a world-class striker. So, he comes right at the right time of the season. But now just imagine if you had someone that could just be at that level earlier in the season. Yeah. Things might look slightly different. My concern is with the transfer market this season. I don't think there's going to be massive transfers. I don't think we're going to see clubs... I do think there are going to be a few big signings, but I don't see clubs really throwing money. And
the problem is the club have all lost so much money now that it's
exactly. Unless you do great business like Barca are busy doing. You got Sergio Aguero on a free transfer. I don't care what someone says. Oh, his injuries, this, is that. That man wins you a title. I promise you. He scores 15 to 20 goals a season. That's good enough stats for your club to go and win a title.
Like anyone will take Sergio Aguero in a free transfer. Like anyone will take Aguero in a free.
I was hoping that he would maybe come to us and
jeez. I was saying the same thing. Free transfer.
They're going to land Genie as well in midfield. That's another great free transfer. He's a Dutch. He plays week in and week out for the Dutch side.
Memphis Depay as well on the free. He's going as well there.
If they get Memphis on the free, so that's legs up front. Again,
Eric Garcia from Man City, like a youngster defender.
You got another one, Man City defender.
They basically building their side on free transfers. I love it.
Exactly. And you know what? All 4 players are basically league winners. They can go and 100%. Win a league for you.
Yeah, 100%.
So clubs are going to have to be smart. A lot of clubs are going to have to be smart like that. United's not one of them, because fucking Woodward is a mess. And so he needs to piss off sooner rather than later. But the next crony that comes in is just going to be someone to make the Glazers happy anyway. So it's not really going to help. But I see a lot of clubs doing clever business like that. Like you're going to have to really, you could be like Man City and just have the money, have good old oil money and just throw it. You're going to get those, but I think other clubs are going to have to be very, very crafty in the transfer market, and United aren't one of them. So I can see them spending a whole fucking budget on Harry Kane. Am I against Harry Kane coming to United? Hell no, because I think that is the most United striker there is in world football right now. If there's a United type of striker, it's Harry Kane. He reminds you of a Teddy Sheringham coming in, of a little, a slight Andy Cole-ish. He's got that not Berbatov touch, but that finish now and then. That he just pulls out these weird and wonderful things.
Like a Van Persie vibe as well.
It's weird. Like you just see Harry Kane fitting in a United mold. Would love to get a Haaland. No chance Mino does business with us because of the Pogba situation. Would I take Benzema on a goddamn free? I would take him as well because I can imagine him and Cavani for a season. It would be shits and giggles. Those two are on the park together. But you know what? I think the climate of football has changed so much. Well, due to COVID now, it's going to change so much. I don't think fans and clubs can expect 4, 5, 6 transfers for 300 million euro. Like, I don't see it happening this season.
Well, that's, in my opinion, that's the biggest issue with Haaland at the moment is he's available, but realistically, there's only 3, 4 clubs that could actually buy him, and even then, it's going to be such a huge amount.
Those clubs all need 5 to 6 players, so they can't afford to blow it on one guy.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Like now, you could pick up 2 or 3 players for the price of one.
100%.
I think Harry Kane is in a similar boat because Spurs is going to milk that sale for everything.
And he's in his prime, lads. We've got to look at it. He's in his prime. He's 28.
Yeah. He'll give you another 4 or 5 years.
And the thing is, if I'm,
you can't blame Spurs for asking 100 million.
100%. If I'm Daniel Levy, there's no way. Like, I'll put it this way: there's no way. So if I'm Daniel Levy, and he's a slick operator. I mean, who would have thought Gareth Bale would have gone for 100 million when he was there? Like, no way. There's no way Gareth Bale goes for 100 million as good as he was for Spurs. Then, but like now, if Daniel Levy sits back and he goes, "Oh, okay, I've just seen like Declan Rice, Chelsea wanted him, and West Ham are wanting 60, 70 million for him." Like if someone's buy Jack Grealish, they're gonna get South will play 70 million for him. So that means if you want Harry Kane, don't even bother calling me if it's not at least above 120, 130 million. Like otherwise, don't even entertain me because like you said, he's in his prime. He's won the Golden Boot 3 times. He's just come off a Golden Boot now. So it's almost like, and I think it's like this transfer window is gonna be so hectic because like I think like United one of the teams that need 3, 4 guys in, 3 first team players in. I look at City. I think City, why I think they're favored in a way is if you look at their team, they sort of need a striker. That's what it's almost like that's
the big transfer.
So for them, it's like they can go. It's like, okay, instead of us going, okay, we can spend 150 million, but we're going to buy a few players here and there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, listen, okay, Pep, you have 150 million, go buy either Haaland or Kane, go wild. If Kane wants to go elsewhere, then it's fine. Then you can go for Haaland because Real Madrid don't have money. Barca don't have any money. PSG, I mean, like I can't see Haaland going from Germany to Paris. But I mean, PSG can't. Surely, if they buy someone else for 150 million, then FIFA Fair Play is going to say something. Like surely. So I mean, Man City's in the prime position to say like we need.
The only thing world football and us as other opposing fans to Man City that saves us is Mino can't fucking stand Pep. They won't do business together. They won't talk to each other. And Haaland is a Mino player. So the only thing that possibly could save us of not seeing Haaland at City is that relationship being so rocky. But that means Pep can go full ball and go for Kane. Which is something I don't want to see either because he scores 50 goals probably. That Man City side.
Kane is also probably a safer bet, at least for the short term, because Haaland, you never know how players adapt to the Premier League. That's always an issue. With Harry Kane, you know exactly what you're going to get. He knows exactly what he needs to do.
I think Haaland is one of those special breed youngsters, though. I think doesn't matter where he goes, he's just going to fucking blow the roof off people. I think someone that's so physically strong and imposing and stuff like that.
But also, I think after Saturday, I think with Pep, I think he was in almost like a limbo. It's like either listen, Haaland, I can build a special player here. like you said, you can adapt, but he's not gonna go from. You might take maybe you come in and score 20 odd goals in the Premier League, but he's not gonna. But he still have that adjustment period where I think after Saturday, Pep's like, okay, maybe I need like Fergie when he got Van Persie, he's like, I need a striker. I need someone to give me 30 goals and guarantee. He just walks in the complex. He gets me 25 goals. I think Pep's almost sat there. I can imagine him going home after the final and the showing him like, listen, guys, we need to get Harry Kane. That's what. That's. I don't want anything else. I want Harry Kane. I need him to play 40 games next year. He's gonna give me 30 goals. That's what I need. I don't need anything else.
He goes to Harry Kane as well. Says, listen, your mate, I need you to play 40 out of 50 games a season, or 35 out of 50 games a season. There's games I'm going to rest you, give you your rest that you never could have at Spurs. I'll play a false nine. I'll play a false nine in those games, like he normally does, Pep, at times. I'll play a false nine, give you a little bit of a breather. But these games, these 35 games, I need you bang on. And we know Kane walks into that team, minimum 20 goals. Minimum
100%.
20 goals.
And I think it's like with Pep, it's like in a simple phone call, like, Kane, do you want to win the Champions League? Yep, okay. Come to Man City. I think
we haven't won one. You haven't won one. Project looks great. Let's go.
Because I don't think Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane. I don't think he's going to leave for another project. Like that's why I think we're Chelsea. Besides the fact that we're in London, we've become the Chelsea. Like, okay, listen, okay, yes, there's youngsters. Okay, they're still building something here. Like I am the missing link. Like I can get there. Like maybe we could push, but like it's almost like I feel like Kane's going. If I go to Man City, because he always win trophies. So I think in his mind he goes, if I go to Man City, we're gonna win. Like we're gonna win. Like unless Liverpool buys Mbappe or someone, but like if he goes there, like he's like, we're gonna win. Like that's.
I think if he goes to Chelsea, he goes, oh, now I'm sharing the load really because I've got Timo Werner, got fucking Olivier Giroud, like who's still there. I've got Tammy Abraham, got all these guys. Like, yes, I'm numero uno when I walk in. I'm fucking Harry Kane. I'm Golden Boot winner, but there's still these. He's like, oh, but I've got this, I've got that. He walks into City. He knows he's the starting 9.
Yeah,
he walks in,
and like Cook says, City are probably the more guaranteed place to win trophies. You know, even though we just beat them, I feel that it was a little bit sort of against the grain of where we should be as a club and as a project.
Yeah,
definitely.
He goes there definitely winning something.
I think if you look at consistency, like through a whole season, City's the team that you go to because
100%.
consistently over 30 games, or just take all the games that they play, take 50 games a season that they play, they're constantly the better side out of all of our teams.
No, 100%.
So it makes sense. Like I can't be mad at the guy thinking of that. We can't. And I agree with you, Cooks. I think that I won't be surprised that phone call was made on Sunday already.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like not even Sunday. I feel like when he left when he saw Chelsea with the trophy, he's like probably said, listen, like because because the Man City owner, the one that the CEO was there doing the middle handout. When he hugged Pep, I'm sure Pep just whispered in his ear, "Get Kane." Didn't say anything else. It's like, "Get Kane." That's all I want from you. Don't speak to.
You see that trophy over there?
Yeah.
You want that? I need Kane.
Yeah, like I need Kane. Like, and I feel like it's because my thing with Man City. Here's this thing. Like, what City have done is, and I think it says Kane because they've bought big in terms of whole. So in terms of they'll spend like 300 million, but they go like, okay, 50 million here, 60 million there, boom, boom, boom. But they've actually never gone in and said, okay, 100 mil. Here you go for one player. If you look at it, like there's the big signing is.
I agree, but I disagree with you because spending 60 million for a defender every goddamn year is like
100%.
That's 100%. Like spending 100 mil on a striker, mate.
That is also true.
Bought 2 left backs worth 55, 60 million each.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I'm like, we can't even buy a fucking center. Like we can't even buy like a half a player for 50, 60 million in our back line. We've got to spend 80 million. You spend 60 million on 2 left backs.
I think this is Man City's actually, this is their transfer negotiations. Like they'll go to a club and be like, hey, listen, I want Kyle Walker. How much is Man United bidding? No, like 35, okay. And like Leicester, or like Chelsea, no, 34. Okay, here's 50. Okay, cool. Cheers, thanks. Like,
No,
case
most
closed.
likely. Most likely.
Yeah.
That's how
It's
it
like,
goes.
we don't do this whole back and forth thing. Here's 50. Are you happy? Good. Checks. We'll get our player, and like now Chelsea's like, and they go, oh cool, we in the chair. 34 million for right back. That's a good price. And be like, listen, by the way, City give us 50. What's your counter offer? Okay, cool. Cheers, guys. Have a good day.
No, 100%. I totally agree with you guys. And yeah, I look at it. I think it was just another evening where Pep just decided to overcomplicate the whole fucking matter again. Like, really, like, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to sit here and go, Man City were terrible on the evening. And I'm not going to say like Chelsea were amazing. It was a good, even game for most. Chelsea were the better side in that. But if Pep just doesn't fucking overcomplicate things, I think they start better, which probably puts you under a little bit more pressure, which they did start well. There was a good block from Rudiger and things like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not taking that away, but how do you not play Fernandinho? I'm sorry, like he's been your main goddamn stay in your team the entire season. Like that's like you guys deciding going.
Like no, we're not playing through the back anymore.
Kante's not playing. Kante's going to go play Sarri. Kante's playing in Sarri's role for the final.
Yeah.
Be like, why?
But that's also something that we've been calling this whole year about Pep in the big games. Is he does fucking weird things, and it doesn't make sense because you've played a certain way to get there, and that should be your best way of playing. Unless you're the swing
they breezed 100%. That doesn't even look like they've done well to knock teams out of the Champions League like with ease. Teams that you didn't think that they would breeze past.
But it's like Wally said. I mean, like they play the one way the whole season, and it's gone well. And like we all waiting for like, oh, he's gonna overthink. And he doesn't. He gets the final. Like, okay, cool. Pep's actually come. He's come a long way, and it's like, and I personally think those two results against Chelsea played a factor in it, because then he was like, because I was watching a picture where I saw a picture, and he said the first game they played against us, he played two holding midfielders and we won. Then he played one, so he's like thinking, okay, maybe if I tweak it again, and sometimes I go like, Pep, but you've either played Rodri or Fernandinho the whole season, every game. And the one game he hasn't played the CDM was the final. Out of 61 games, 60 of those games he's played this with Rodri or Fernandinho.
One or two. Or sometimes both, yeah.
And I think to myself, I think with Pep, I mean, like Keeks, I mean, you know, as a coach, I mean, I've done this also as a coach. You know, I mean, there's always the one game, and you sort of sometimes you try to tinker with something, and you're like, oh, maybe let me. Okay, I've done 5-man lineouts for the whole year, but now listen, they got 2 tall locks. Let me go and maybe I must shuffle and go a full-man lineout though, and then you sort of tinker and you play with your own head a little bit. I think with Pep he does it. Like, he gets in his own head and it's like, oh, maybe, and it's like instead of like tinkering something small, he changes the whole thing, and then it's like. Then you find yourself in the game, you'll be like, oh shit.
Why you usually find that when you're too analytical. You usually find that when you usually find, so like I've obviously done it before as well. And sometimes I just think I'm being fucking smart, and then it bites me in the arse and you're like, why? You an hour later after the result, you're like, why the fuck did I even think it was a good idea? It's like I was just trying to be clever. And it's not worked out. And then other times you look so deep into a game that you start overcomplicating everything where it's actually just black and white and simple in front of you. And I think Pep is that type of thinker. And we all know, like, he's that type of thinker. He lives, sleeps, breathes football and tactics. And I think that's what gets to him. I think that's his biggest downfall.
But then also, you look at it, you like, in my opinion, Chelsea is not the most difficult team to sort of plan for, because under Tuchel, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
He's played almost every single game the same way. Before the match, anyone could probably have predicted his starting 11. I mean, put my team out, and it was spot on, the actual starting 11. So you think like, surely, if you're now going to overthink things, there's no need for that because you know what you're going to get. So just play that course and stick to it.
I sometimes think though, you don't think it's so basic though. So you look at it, you're going, okay, cool. I know what their team's going to be. I know what the shape looks like. I sort of know what the pressing's looking like. But then you start playing with the thing that like, okay, well, they do that really well. So how are we going to counter this? And then you start looking at that. And then those type of thinkers start going, well, if we're going to counter like this, that means we have to press differently. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, you've changed how we've done this and you've changed your press. And then you say, and then because we're pressing like this, we might have to be higher up the field. Now you've changed your shape. And then it becomes like such a such a snowball effect, changing one thing and then overthinking the next. And then next minute you look and you snowball everything. Oh, Mia's decided to join the show. And when you look at the whole 360 again, it's a brand new game plan that no one's actually 100%. Trained.
Yeah, and now you've got like 3 days to try and implement that and get the ideas across to the players.
No, 100%. But I also think with Pep, also like they may have had too much time because for them, for example, like it's a thing of they won the league already. So in Pep's mind, he's also in his mind he's thinking Champions League final, like get through this last week. Whereas Chelsea, for example, is like, okay, we need to actually get top 4 done. And like with Pep's mind, he's already going, oh no, I'm already thinking De Bruyne's are playing this weekend, Foden's being rested this weekend. I need him here because but also an underrated mistake he made was playing Sterling because I mean Sterling hasn't struggled this year, and in the run into the win the league, he was on the bench. I mean they had Foden playing out wide. Now he's pushed Foden into the middle, and it's like there's no Cancelo who normally gives him the width on the outside. So it's like you said, like you sort of sometimes you overthink it, and with Pep he sort of tweaks it. He sort of tweaks it too much, and for me what's frustrating with him, because I remember when he's at Barca, for example, it's almost like he said to himself, like, this is how we play. We play 4-3-3. We play tiki-taka. I don't care what your setup is. We will find a way through.
But it's a lot different though, Cooks, because when you got a midfield of Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets, I don't give a fuck. Who cares what your midfield is? Like who actually cares who's in your midfield?
No, 100%.
Those players can decide when they want to turn it on. Like the manager can be like, "Hey boys, quicker, let's go," and they'll be like, "Coach, just hang on a little bit. We're just having a little bit of a rest. 5 minutes to go. We'll turn it on now and we'll score." So,
because I think with Man City, they also got a little bit of element of that because like their midfield is so good in terms, so they should be able to be like, I'm like Pep, like if you pay Rodri or Fernandinho. You're not going to get bitten by that Chelsea goal where Havertz just runs into a pocket of space and Gundogan is nowhere to be seen in the mid. Like Mount's pass was from behind the halfway line. He just cut through. Like where's your central defensive midfielder? And you look up Gundogan's on the other side of the field, almost like because you're trying to play a part, you're trying to get forward, and you're like, but like if he's getting forward, and like Bernardo Silva, like did he even play on Saturday? Like I saw him.
I was actually shocked that he started. I'll be honest with you.
Because I saw the lineup. I remember I saw the lineup. I was like, "Ooh, no Rodri or Fernandinho." I was like, "Oh, that's a Bernardo Silva." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
He decided to take all his midfielders and throw them all on the field and see what they can do.
Yeah. Because like in my mind, because I mean, I always like when they name the side, they name information on the City Twitter page.
I know, it annoys the shit out of me.
And you're trying to like sort of figure out like who's playing where, and you're like, but who's going to be holding midfielder? Like, sure you're not Kevin De Bruyne, but like Gundogan is great when he gets to go forward. Like, I was like, you know what? There's like, and then you sit there, like you said, and but also like, it's game, like, it's too late when you put Fernandinho on, then you thought, okay, cool. I think in his mind, he was like, I've got this wrong.
Yeah, he realized it. He realized he made a mistake then. And, you got to go. This is taking nothing away from obviously Tuchel sticking to his game and just playing the Chelsea way in that. But I think it's fair to say that Pep's overcomplicated and made it a lot actually played into Tuchel's hands even more at the end of the day by allowing that whole overthinking situation and stuff. And it's going to be. I mean, I actually saw quite a few City fans like on Twitter and stuff, like really like ripping into Pep about it. And I think fair play. I think City fans are allowed to be fucking
100%.
Bit miff about it, because it's not the first time, and it's surely not the last time where he like overcomplicates something like this. It just seems to be like a thing since he's come to City, really. I mean, I do like. Don't get me wrong. He did overthink it at Bayern, but he also got beat by better teams at times.
But I think the only time he's lost to a better side, I think that's the worst part. Because I think the times he's lost, I mean, I don't think he was even there. I mean, if you look at, I look at his Champions League runs. I mean, it's lost to Chelsea last year. I mean, this season, the final. Lost to Lyon last year in the quarters.
That was overthinking again.
Yeah. The year before that, Spurs.
Overthinking.
Then Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool were they smashed.
Yeah.
The year before that, it was Monaco. When Mbappe was. So it's like, so if I'm a City fan and a Pep, look at in those 5 years, City been the better side. Like if on paper, like they've been favorites in each of those ones. Because I mean, if you're because I was saying my mates, Man City fans, they're like, in the ideal world, they'll be like, yes, I'd love to play Chelsea in the Champions League final. I mean, but then like in this, they'll be like, oh, I'd love to get Lyon in the quarterfinals. I'd love to get Liverpool. I mean, like it's a side we know. I'd love to get Spurs. I mean, Spurs can't, and then you lose to Spurs. You think, and then you sit there again, and you're like, it's not like we're losing to Bayern Munich this year, and then Real Madrid knocks us out, and then like PSG, they went through a stage where they played Barca almost every year, and then it's like you can half live with that. It's like, oh man, like this year, it's like they beat Dortmund. We knocked out Real Madrid, not Real Madrid, but like we knocked out PSG. So it's like we go like in your mind, you're like, okay, cool, like we're not overthinking. This is it again. Because like my thing with the Champions League, listen, Pep can bounce back next year and steamroll everyone, get Harry Kane, win the treble next year. We're like, it's like, I told you so. But I mean, it's hard to get the Champions League final. It's hard. Like it's one of those competitions. Like I mean, I was thinking like on Saturday, like I was buzzing. I was like, I can't believe we're in the Champions League final. It's been 9 years since we've been in here, and you're like, you can easily slip into a slippery sleep. Like you blink once and you're like, oh crap, you haven't been to the Champions League in 4 years, and you blink again, you're Arsenal. You're like, can't even dream of getting the Champions League. And like some sides,
you can't dream of being in Europe.
Yeah, 100%. Like Real Madrid goes from winning 3 titles in a row to when also they've been like they got the semis this year, but then like they're irrelevant to getting Europe. Like so, it's like so for Man City fans, I mean all three of them. I feel bad for them in that case. So like it's like when you're gonna get like we keep getting in great positions, but overthinking is what kills us. I don't blame them for having a go. I think that was and also the point though, like we keep winning at home. We win the league all the time. So now it's like I won the Champions League now. I mean, Wally, you remember with Chelsea used to be the same. You're like, yes.
The problem is before we got the first Premier League, I think that the first Champions League. I think that's it became the biggest thing for every single manager. Like, fair enough, the league's fine, and we want the league. We'll be happy with that. But what we really want is Champions League. And Pep is now almost maybe getting into that place where they're going, look, maybe almost any manager could probably win the Premier League with that squad and pick up an FA Cup here and there. Yeah. But we need someone that's going to take this squad and win the Champions League. And then you're looking at, there's Oaks available. Conte's available now. Zidane available now.
Yeah, but the difference though is Pep has got his mates in that over there at Man City. So there's guys that he personally knows. He's friends with the director of football and those things. And I don't think his position would be in trouble in that way. Definitely not. Because he's still like winning trophies and stuff like that. It's obviously the thing. I don't see the problem with Conte is why he's going to struggle to get a job now is he's so confrontational. Yeah, and
like he goes to a job and it's like it's in and out. It's almost like a mercenary. It's like in and out when I want this and this and this and this and this. Like,
they left Inter role now
after 2 years
because him and the president had a huge fight. The president's like, president's like, I don't have money for you, mate. So if you want players, you're gonna have to get rid of 70 mils worth of players. And he's like, well, how the fuck do you expect me to do whatever? And he was like, well, I'm fucking leaving then. So the thing is that, like, I think managers like him, there are a place for them, but I think in today's climate, he's in a struggle now with COVID and that around, because which clubs can just go, okay, Conte, like Antonio, you can, get your 100 mil players that you want. You don't have to sell anyone. You can just get what you want. Like, I don't think it's going to be easy. Zidane's different. I think Zidane really likes projects. And I think you could see it with that Real Madrid side. They were a shit Real Madrid. Zidane overachieved this season with that Real Madrid side. For them to get so close to La Liga this season with that shitty squad was unbelievable on Zidane's part. But you can see he was building something.
Yeah.
You could see he likes a project. Perez is like, well, mate, I'm not really. He goes, I'm leaving because I don't feel Perez is giving me the backing that I want to see through this project, and he leaves. So I think he's the type.
I heard there was also issues with the players that didn't buy into what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I do think there were a few players, but listen, a man who's so highly regarded in that club, who's won so much in that thing. I mean, the only person you give a shit about in that dressing room is Ramos. Any other player backlips you in that fucking change room, you just tell them to get the fuck out. Like, go find a new club.
You kick him with a boot.
Exactly. Yeah. The only guy's opinion you worry about as a player in that dressing room is Sergio Ramos. If he's unhappy, then you got to start.
And Benzema, he's got a bit of clout. I mean, he's been there for a while. But like the rest is just like...
He does, but I don't see him being very confrontational. You know what I mean? I don't see him like rocking the boat, really. Like, I think Ramos goes in and be like, listen, everyone shut the fuck up. You too, manager. Like, I'm not happy about you. And, has a bit of a go and things like that. So that's another thing. Like, there's so many managers on board now. I mean, Allegri, I think, has been named Juve coach, eh?
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, so you got to worry about that.
Has he left PSG?
No, he hasn't.
They're saying
Pochettino, I tell Levy to get absolutely fucked.
Yeah, there's no way. If Pochettino goes back, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, there's a guy that sacked you after he
taken him to the Champions
League final. Also, you didn't buy anyone. You went a whole, and then he sacks him a year after. And you're like, hey man, I need you back. You're like, do you have money this time? No, we don't. And by the way, we're losing Kane. Come back, please.
Sorry, mate. We're paying Jose off his salary. Yeah. So we're paying Jose like 20 mil of the salary that we still owe him. We're losing Kane. Keen to come and have a coach.
Back. By the way, I'm sorry. But I think with Man City though, I remember when the owners took over, they said like we want some, like the Premier League was their main thing. Like we want to just win like Premier League titles, establish ourselves as a big team, and they did that. I mean, they've won since 2012, what, five league titles. So 5 league titles in about 8-9 years, which is that's an incredible return. Yeah, and it's like now they've gone. I think they've got. It's like the same with Chelsea. Jose comes in here, we win the league, first time in 50 years, and then like you get in the semi-finals of the Champions League, you get a taste. After a while, it's like you want to win the Champions League now because you want to, like, you just want one. Like one gets you in the party. Like you get one Champions League, and you're in a league club. Like you're in the show. Like and I said, I always say to my mates, like, oh, Chelsea's got one Champions League. Like all everyone was one. I don't want to be Real Madrid. I just wanted one. Just one. Just give me one. That's all. I was like, if I go into 90 years old, Chelsea, I'm like, oh, at least I got one. I've got one, and I'm happy. We're in the Real Madrid club. We can have a drink with those oaks. We can have a drink with AC Milan. We're in the door. We're in the door, and it's like I think with Man City the same. It's like you get so close after a while. You're like, Now
I think
feel
they
like
feel that you're what you're saying, Cookies. They only feel that they're going to be a big club once they've hit that
yeah,
marker. Because
100%.
until they've hit that
Yeah.
marker, we don't see
No.
them. Manchester fans, we don't even see. We don't care how many fucking Premier League titles they win.
Yeah,
Like, in all honesty, if you ask most, obviously, do we want them to win one? No, we don't.
yeah,
But the end of the day is you ask most Manchester United fans about Manchester City fans. I had a drink with one on Saturday, talking a whole bunch of smack to me. We fucking won the title. We've done this. We've done that. I turned around and said, mate, what have you done in Europe? Fuck all. So just sit there, enjoy your pint,
yeah.
okay, and watch your team lose another final. And I just and it's a quick way to shut up. I mean, I even had Ajax fans sitting with me going, "Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
Even we've got a fucking Champions League. We've got a few
exactly.
Champions Leagues
So
in
it's
our
it's
our
like,
thing. So
yeah.
you shut
So like you can't say anything. So it's like because like City fans can't be like, oh, Ajax, you haven't won the Champions League since like '95, but at least we won it. We've won it before. Like
We've got
won it.
3. Well, what 3 or 4 we've got. So,
So it's like with Man City, it's like you win one, it's done. You're in. You're in that.
Then you're in the
that
club. You're in the
club.
gentleman's club.
So it's like, and when you're in the club, then it's like you can breathe. Like it's only the bosses in Real Madrid who've got to feel the pressure of winning. Like they're gonna win like 95 Champions League titles. Like for them, it's like Champions League or bust. Like you win the league, and you're like, by the way, you win the Champions League. But I won the La Liga with like 8 points. Like yeah, but it's great and all, but you didn't win the Champions League. Yeah, but like what about La Liga? Look here, woohoo! Like no, but you didn't win. I mean, like Real Madrid would sacrifice the league basically. They'd like stop playing like Jan, like okay, Barca wins the league again. Like we just win the Champions League 3 times in a row. I mean,
Because
that's fine.
what's the biggest bragging right at the end of the day? They look at it as a Champions League.
100%.
So
it's like
it's a weird thing, and I think like the season coming up now, what's going to be interesting. I think we're going to find we're going to see new names pop up. We're going to see a few interesting signings, I think, from the Euros as well. I've dropped a few names on my Twitter that I really think, like from the Dutch perspective, are 2 youngsters playing here at PSV that are, they're very, very, they're good players. I mean, they're in the Dutch squad. I don't think they'll be starters. I don't think they'll get major minutes, but they could get an injury or 2, and you never know with the Dutch. They'll throw youngsters in whenever they feel like it. There could be 2 guys leaving PSG at the end of the Euros if they have a good one, and they could walk into 1 or 2 Premier League clubs. They could go walk into a Spurs, go walk in somewhere else, even an Arsenal, something like that, do really well. The next minute you've got some more stars. I think clubs are going to use this as bargaining tools for some players, and
definitely.
And you could get a good bargain. I think you could get a good bargain in this Euro if you're just not going for a marquee type of player.
Yeah,
I just think
the thing is that as long as you're buying from a smaller club,
yes,
they are also in financial stress, so they also need a bit of cash. So you could go like, listen, normally this guy's going for 60, but no one's paying 60, or probably less, but just an example.
Give us a 45 and we'll take him.
Yeah, and then the club's looking like, okay, it's 45 that we don't have, so we might just take it, So I think I agree with that. Clubs are going to have to be clever in that way. Cooks, just looking at next season for Chelsea, what do you think we need to do to get closer to City from a league perspective?
Well, first of all, I think it's tricky but first, before we get to next season, I must say we've been kind enough to Keeks. We've talked about Pep, we talked about everyone, but fucking hell, how good was Chelsea on Saturday? Beautiful scenes, beautiful scenes. Just
especially what I really liked is especially because we had that Arsenal result, which was a huge disappointment. We had the FA Cup final that we lost. We lost the last game of the season. So then you just start to think like, ooh, the wheels are coming off a little bit. It's a lot of pressure when you're not, especially if you're not in the best form and whatever. And for young players to then go and step up and play the way that they did is incredible. And I think one thing I'm super stoked about is the likes of Reece James and Mason Mount and those guys getting a fucking Champions League so early in their careers. It gives me a bit of hope that we can build a little culture of winning like we did with Drogba and Lampard and Terry, where even in seasons where we maybe not the best side, we're still winning silverware. And
100%.
I think we can build on this now to get that culture back.
My only concern with that is, my only concern for you guys is, remember that the World Cup year where Liverpool was smoking everyone, Trent Arnold was smoking everyone, go to a World Cup playing amazing. Those youngsters come back, they've won trophies. They've won trophies all of a sudden. They've gone to a World Cup semi-final. You know, they narrowly. To be fair, England should have beaten that Croatian side. There were patches where I thought that, Croatia's now done. You know, England going to do it, and then they just pulled something out the bag in that second half. Those youngsters come back and they put themselves on such a pedestal, and then they're not the same anymore from that pedestal. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's that fatigue. It's that where they call it World Cup fatigue, and that thing. You can get that Euro fatigue as well, because all those kids are in the squad in England. Yeah, that squad now, and most likely will start.
Yeah, that's something that you're going to have to manage. But I do think of what I've seen of Tuchel, he looks like quite a good. He's good with the guys, and he'll think about things like that. You know,
I think Tuchel. Yeah, I think he'll definitely shake things up, because I think what is great about the result on the weekend. I mean, talking about next season, is like you look at 2012, for example, like it felt like the end of an era, because I mean, like JT and Drogba and Czech,
and this is Lampard,
a start, and Cole, like that's what we were pushing for. Like that's how you got those guys in, and we just kept coming close, and we sort of got the Champions League at the end of their primes. I mean, a little bit older then in 2012. I mean, like. Whereas now it's like it feels like the start of an era. Because the scary thing with Chelsea, I think it's, for me, looking forward to next season. I think our biggest thing is not obviously transfers. We get a few players in, but our young players, you take the next step. So like someone like Kai Havertz now has been here for a year. He's got to take the next step. Someone like Werner now is going to take the next step. Mason Mount is going to take the next step. And like all those guys now have to go from being okay, like are we promising youngsters and oh man, this guy's. To okay, we're actually good quality Premier League players. Like we guys who can actually produce week in, week out. Because like I look at someone like for me, for next season, I think someone like Kai Havertz. I think our season depends on how well. I think that our season depends on how well he progresses next season. Because I think he's shown glimpses of what he can do. Especially on Tuchel, you can see he's a baller. You can see it. Like you're showing glimpses. I mean, it's like I think it's our season's dependent on how does he go from, because I think he's got the talent to be the best player like one of the best players in the Premier League. And so like I'm just excited to see if I get the next team.
He's almost got the ability now to start on a clean slate almost, because
100%,
he's had a fucking rough year. He had to move to a new country and global pandemic.
He got COVID as well.
Which he had like that long COVID or whatever that he was struggling with. Yeah. And I think it's now like a fresh start for him. Knows the league a little bit. Manager obviously backs him. I
think a lot of these players though as well, what they're in for a rude awakening is when fans are allowed back. Because I think we forget that as well. Some of these players have really walked in quite easily into clubs with no fans in. Yeah, there's no the traveling abuse. There's no the this. There's no the that. You know, some players have really had it really, really, really fucking easy in the Premier League. New players,
especially the ones that have struggled. Or like in the ones that
exactly.
Like there's no because
it's only online abuse that they've had to take.
Yeah, because like now it's like the greatest thing that could have happened to Kai Havertz is scoring the winning goal in the Champions League final, because that puts him in Chelsea like Falco forever. Like even if he doesn't do anything for the next 10 years, like. But like my thing is like if he goes
like Torres, no
100%, like he's in forever.
I'm like that paid your transfer fee, buddy.
Yeah, like it's like 100% with him and with Kai Havertz. Like, if my thing is, if he now he can go the confidence of going, listen, I can actually do it in the biggest stage. I've proved it there. You guys bought me for like 100 million. That's for the winning on the Champions League final. Like, is that not why you buy the players? So I'm also keen to see what Tuchel does. His proper transfer window. Because I do think he's going to tweak a few things. I think obviously like what I've enjoyed about him is he's actually taking the side and going, okay, I'm going to coach what I've been given here. This is the shape I'm playing with the side that I've been given. And this is I won't buy anyone in January. I'm going to give everyone until August, May, a clean slate. You're all going to find out. So I'm actually keen to see what sort of players you want to bring in, like, because obviously, and which sort of player is he going to let go. I mean, obviously Giroud. I think Giroud is probably leaving on a free.
Yeah. I think Abraham is.
I think for him, he's going to. I would like to see how Tuchel's going to change things up a little bit. How he plays.
Yeah, me too.
Because what's let him down at Dortmund, what let him down at PSG, what let him down even before at the time was like he got he never changed.
Yeah,
it was so predictable that second or third season, teams like, okay, they spent a whole season working him out.
Yeah, and then now he's sort of like
now they've been able to counter it.
That happens so much in football these days. I mean, I'm sure we've spoken about it. That's what Conte did at Chelsea. Figured him out. Mourinho's done that pretty much his entire career.
Everywhere. Yeah.
They know now it doesn't even matter anymore if he changes a club.
Yeah. I think in that sense, what changes is the players you bring in. I think that's the thing that changes everything. You know, it's like you can figure out my system until like. But if I can tweak. Obviously, I think you will tweak his system a little bit. I think the three at the back will be his core, but he'll tweak things a few bit. And I think for him, I think our biggest problem is scoring goals. That's been our biggest problem and not like creating chances, because we do create chances, but just like we just don't we just get such great chances and we just don't score. And it's like for him, it's going to be okay. Maybe you get an out and out striker. Because like, you know, Werner looks like a guy who plays off another striker because he makes such great runs and his pace is there. But like, unless next year Werner converts half the chances he missed, then you'll score a lot more goals. But it's like
that I think Cooks is. I just feel that your luck has to change, right?
Yeah, I think so as well.
These guys that are missing, like Werner is missing a lot. It's not that he's not good enough. We know he's good enough. We've seen it.
Or is his luck never changed, lads?
Yeah, that's also what I think so. Like sometimes like you get.
I'm just saying, sometimes luck doesn't.
Torres never got.
Morata's luck never changed it, you guys.
Torres was never able to create the amount of chances that Werner gets. Werner gets.
Morata also got millions of chances, never put them away. Like sometimes. Sometimes
I think what I like about Werner.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. Yeah. I really think if you look at the way Werner's playing, he plays very well. That's why he's still in the side. That's why he hasn't been dropped.
Yeah, I think it's exactly.
He's not going to change because it has to change, and we'll be good to go. And I also don't think it's a confidence thing because he certainly still looks confident in himself. So I think it's just unlucky spell.
At least, like I said with Werner, he actually at least he plays well, and it's such an important part to the team that like if you look at while you're a striker, I mean, Keys, you coach, you look at Havertz's goal. That goal doesn't happen if you went for Werner's run. That leading run where he pulls Diaz this way, and then Havertz comes in there. But it's like sort of with him is what I feel bad for. People almost like forget about the good he does. Because obviously, I understand he's a striker, but it's like even the Morata thing. I think Keys, I did tell you, like the Morata thing is. I'm still telling you now that United and Chelsea got the wrong guy. If you just swap the chances,
I agree with you.
If we get Lukaku, you guys get Morata. Things work out a lot better. Like
I think Wally and I said that when that happened.
Yeah.
When this transfer happened,
I remember.
We had a chat. I was like, "You've got the striker that fits our play more, and we've got the striker that fits your play more.
Just make it easy. A fucking swap deal. Be done."
Like
I remember United fans getting pissed off at Lukaku, and it's like just like get him behind a little bit more, run go left, and it's like, and Chelsea fans like just hold the ball up, like just hold the ball up.
No, that's the thing. Like Ryan and I had so many laughs at that because like we'd be like we were sitting at times like watching our teams play and be like, but that's what we need. We need that, and then like Ryan would be like, yeah, but that's what we need. We need like this big lump just holding the ball up and bullying centre backs. And we're like, but we don't fucking want that. We want someone to get in behind the defender. We whip it in and someone to just throw themselves at the ball. It's just like,
it was like, and like
that transfer windows was the word, like such a fucking weird ass.
The dog show. Because like
one thing we didn't really mention is also the possibility of, I think there is a big chance that Lukaku might end up coming to us.
I do think so. Yeah.
We know Inter Milan needs money.
Yeah.
We know we possibly need a striker because we don't know, what Werner's going to do. And I think that becomes a great option to play two up front with Lukaku and Werner. And what you could also do in the deal, you could also look at giving Tammy Abraham to Inter, saving a bit of cash.
I think Giroud might be the dangling fish.
No, I think Giroud's going free.
No,
that's the problem.
He's going free.
He's going free.
Oh,
I think Tammy will be the dangling fish for Spurs. And I think like we'll throw him there. Like, listen, you can get. And I mean, like, listen, I rate Tammy. I think Tammy. I mean, like, I think.
Listen, he's a way more natural goal scorer than Rashford. I'll tell you. Like he's a natural. He's a natural goal scorer. Tammy. He's honestly a natural goal scorer.
And he's young as well. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if like someone like Spurs, you throw him in there, even if like you throw him in there, listen, like we'll give you freaking 80 million plus Tammy Abraham. Like we're sort of gonna.
I think I can't see Kane coming to us. With the rivalry there and.
The only thing that like that gives me half hope is like because Kane really wants to leave, and it's all dependent on Man City. So like, I just hope we throw our like. I mean, like if Kane's involved, like I think you put any personal beef aside and be like, listen, mate, this is what they call like, hey Rome, like, hey Daniel, listen, I know me and you don't get along.
The Champions League makes it an interesting prospect because he's going. If they were in Champions Leagues with a team that's
what I said. That's
technically not even a team yet.
But it's still a project though, and I do agree what Cooks had to say. Like, shit, Kane could pick up and just go Real Madrid, send me there. He'll go. He'll start there. He'll legit start. He'll bang goals away in Spain, like somewhere where it's not a project. I can see him like just
I can see that, but also it reminds you of the Hazard thing. I mean, Hazard was like linked to like United and City, like it's going there, and then as soon as you won the Champions League, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the European champion. So I think that when us winning the Champions League puts us a little bit more clout. You're like, well, listen, like it's almost like what you call it, like don't worry about the mess behind us, but look how nice my TV is. Like the Champions League, but like your roof is leaking. We'll fix that. But like look at my TV. And it's like, you're still building the rest of your house. Like I am still building the rest of my house, but like we've got the Champions League, baby. Like
I think like a lot of these players are going to look at that though, Cooks. I think a lot of these players are going to look at for the next 2 to 3 years. In a way, because believe me, even if the world goes back to normal, or like European, even if Europe goes back to normal in its football seasons and crowds are allowed back, and you're playing all your games, you don't have to worry about COVID and shit like that, or that's only the odd COVID case here or there. I still don't think clubs are going to have like the money that they had for 2 to 3 seasons.
No, definitely.
I think 2 to 3 to 4 seasons.
Yeah, they're going to need some time to get back to.
Because I think here, I could be very wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that Eredivisie said from the start of, I think the seasons, or like August as well, like the end of August, it starts just after the Premiership, the week or two after. I think they only doing 60% of crowds into stadiums. for the first few months.
Mm.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's still
Yeah.
a big revenue loss. Not having 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not bringing that revenue back that
No,
you
100%.
had from when they
Like
left.
you can't go almost 2 seasons, basically a whole entire season with no fans. I mean, that's your main revenue. And I think it's like you said, I think there's only a few clubs. Like I think United's got money to spend. Like because I think Chelsea's got money to spend. Liverpool, I mean, they still still trying to pay back the money they use for their parade. I mean, and what's it called? They trophy presentation when they won the league. I mean, they still
They
pay
still
back
got to
that
bring
money.
they got to bring their staff back that they furloughed first. They still got to bring them back.
And like I mean, Arsenal still got to bring back money from the mascot they fired. So I mean, it's like you look at Barca, like if you look at Barca, they're in a bit of a mess, and Real Madrid's in a bit of a mess. So like you look at it, like even like you said, Conte wants to go to Real Madrid. Like he's gonna face the same issues at Real Madrid. Like they don't have money. They want to get these. Like why do you think the Super League thing was happening now? Because owners saying we are broke. Not broke, but like we don't have money.
Juve don't have money either.
Juve don't have money. Yeah. So teams are sitting here like where I think what Chelsea did, what we did well was like we're in a position like we have a bit of cash, so we're gonna go splash out. Maybe let's go get 6-7 players last year, because now we can get 6-7 get pretty youngsters that are in, splash a bit more. So at least we know that if we get a base, a foundation that we're gonna build from, we've paid for that in a time where, because like let's say we wait a couple of years and Kai Havertz goes from 100 million to 150 million, maybe he goes to Bayern Munich and he becomes this world star, or like, so it's like, whereas I think with Chelsea we've done our business well is getting these guys early and doing it now while we're in a better position in this pandemic than most clubs. So use that money. I mean, it's like you almost use that position to improve the squad now.
You did the business before the pandemic really the shit hit the fan.
100%.
So like the financial, so you really got the business done before, you know, the real implications of COVID came through. And yeah, like,
but also remember
the Bayern Munich's always going to do great business because that's just what they do.
No, the Bayern Munich do good business because they got an outstanding academy in the Bundesliga, which produces talent of players and coaches every year, and they just pick and choose. Like how do they get Leipzig's head coach? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like someone
German. Do you know what the problem is though, Cooks? Every German. It doesn't matter where you're born and bred or whatever. Every German wants to play for Bayern Munich at some point in their career,
or coach Bayern Munich.
So that is the like.
That's why
it's easy to get a player.
Yeah, that's why you get Oaks from Dortmund and that jumping ship to Bayern Munich, which normally shouldn't fucking happen, but they've got the ability to draw players.
But that's like Bruno going like, you know what? I'm not happy with this project here at United. Hey Pep, is it fine if I come and or like that's the thing. I mean Leipzig. Bayern Munich's been chased for like the last 3 years by Leipzig and the great young coach. And they go like, oh, you know what? How do we stop Leipzig? Oh, I got an idea. Hey man, you want to come coach Bayern Munich? Yes. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Like you're coaching Bayern Munich now. Like now Leipzig's like, now what do we do now? We're losing all our best players. We lost our best coach to our rival team.
Well, what I love about like the Bundesliga is like there's always plan Bs in every club.
Oh yeah.
So like if Leipzig lose a coach, they go straight to Real Salzburg in Austria. And they just take the coach. The Salzburg coach is always being groomed to take over Leipzig.
Yeah.
It's like a Red Bull thing. It's like having Toro Rosso, Alpha Tauri and Red Bull. Like the drivers are always being groomed.
You're just grooming my future employees for me.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the hard yards.
Yeah. Listen, gents.
Cooks have got load shedding. The Cooks get some load shedding there.
Yeah, I think this is my screen.
Let's wrap this up before my load shedding kicks in because I need to just put all my candles out and all of that. Cooks, are you there still?
I'm here.
All right, cool.
I'm getting calls from the freaking hostel here. That's why I'm like falling apart.
All right. Tell them to calm down. You almost won.
I told them I'm busy. I'm a European champion, so let me be.
Let's we'll wrap this one up. Have a good evening, and then next week we'll chat about the Euros coming up.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
and we might have something cool to launch by that time, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, hopefully, we're working on a couple of things, but yeah. Have
Well,
a good one, James.
James, see you next Monday. Have a lovely
Cheers, guys.
evening. Cheers.
Bye.